Thank you everyone for coming. Like today we will have two guest speakers. It's Hannah from Ukrainian NGO Спільна Hub і also Ілля, also from Ukrainian NGO Свої, якщо я правильно вимовила. Yes, but also we prepared as usual some kind of presentation, and I think we will start with presentation with daily news, and our team як сказати, збільшилась rise, something like that. Increase, yeah. Today with us also will be Irina and Arsen. Yeah. So, Alexandra, I think we can start sharing our presentation.
Yeah, hello everybody. Please tell me if I'm audible. Yes, okay, thank you. So first of all, I told you previously that I'm not tired of repeating some important things, and we would like to start from little vocabulary, because vocabulary is important. Okay, I'm not seeing if, oh, okay. So we already know that in Ukraine it is war, but we have to be concise and not to use such words like it is Ukrainian war against Russia, because Ukraine is not the one who attacked. Russia is the one who attacked. So it is Russian full-scale war against Ukraine. And it's definitely not the special operation. It is Russian full-scale in war against Ukraine. It is Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and it is not Putin's war, because 83% Russians support Putin. And again, war started not on February 2022. It started in 2014 with Crimea annexation. And I want to give the floor to Irina, and she will tell a little bit more about weekly news. And I just want to mark one thing, that 2 days, May of 4th and May, okay, 2 days previous this one, there were time when map of air alerts was totally red. All Ukraine was in danger, and Irina will tell you a little bit more about that. Irina, please.
Thank you, Alexandra. Hello, everyone. So pleased to be here with you and share some news. So I will start with some military crimes that Russia is doing in Ukraine, and in particular, that is forced deportation, because Russia has forcibly deported more than 1 million Ukrainians to Russia, and 200,000 children included. According to Mariupol mayor's words, 4 Russian filtration camps have been created in and around the city of Mariupol. And these so-called filtration camps are reportedly used for processing Ukrainian civilians before they are sent to Russia, or kept for mobilization reserve or forced labor. In such places, Ukrainian citizens are deprived of food and water, and their mobile phones are taken away from them, so they cannot speak with their family and friends. In this photo, you see one of such camps in Mariupol, where people are kept in inhumane conditions. Some news from newly occupied territories of Kherson and Kherson Oblast. You can see the map of it, and the Kherson and Oblast are marked red. Several days ago, there was a near total internet blackout in the region, and after this blackout, Russia rerouted internet traffic to its infrastructure. So Now there is total or nearly total control of Russia of internet communications in the region. So the next slide, please. Now Azovstal in Mariupol. As you know, Russia has been trying to besiege the Azovstal for a long time, since February. And on the 3rd of May, Russian forces began to storm Azovstal. 2 days prior, almost 100 people were able to leave the plant, with nearly 1,000 people still remaining trapped in the facility. Denis Prokopenko, the commander of the Azov volunteer regiment, said that on the 4th of May, Russian troops broke into Azovstal, and there is a bloody fight, which is still on in the Azovstal plant in Mariupol. Now this place is the only pocket of Ukrainian resistance remaining in Mariupol, which has been besieged by Russian troops since February. And now we would like you to watch a video about the people who managed to be evacuated, the civilians who managed to be evacuated from the Azovstal plant.
And I'll just want to remark that you will hear people and they speak in Russian language, as that myth that Russians told that they want to release Russian-spoken people in Ukraine. It's fake. It's truly fake.
Остались дети гражданские. В нашем бункере двое маленьких деток, 4 и 7 лет.
Maybe click on YouTube on the screen, just like YouTube. Yep. It's with English subtitles, guys, so we could understand.
Деток 4 и 7 лет. Детки 10-12 лет. Больше 10 детей только в нашем бункере. А он не один. Страшные авиаудары, стены дрожат. Наши 4 этажа просто ложились. Пару прилетов и убежища не будет. Попадания были и в убежище. Состояние детей вы представляете. Сегодняшний день, да, 55, 11 выехали, вот нас сейчас трое, 40 с лишним осталось.
Спасибо нашим воинам, помогают и продуктами, и всем остальным, и морально. Очень приятно вообще.
Сегодня мне пообещали, что меня вывезут в Запорожье. Поэтому я рискнула вот и поехала. Очень много людей здесь еще осталось. Они боятся ехать, потому что им никто не дает гарантии, что их довезут до Запорожья, как обещают. И все будут ждать, пока доберется наш вот этот первый, не знаю, как он называется, гум-конвой, наверное. И если все будет нормально, то здесь очень много детей, здесь очень много женщин. И если все будет нормально, то гражданские будут выезжать.
Ну, надеюсь доехать в Украину куда-то. Была эвакуация 2 раза, и 2 раза срывалась.
Из-за ежедневных обстрелов нельзя было нос высунуть.
Вас тут не обижали?
Нет, не обижали. Не обижали ни в коем случае. И на русском мы разговаривали смело.
Но нас дом разбомбило. Да, и мы пришли в самое, как говорится, ближайшее место, куда мы могли спастись.
А чого раніше не виходили? Ну, там же ж якоби русські предлагали, там зелений коридор.
Нет, спасибо, нас это не интересовала информация. Мы другой политической стороны придерживаемся. Хотели бы жить в стране, в которой родились, да, в которой жили. Жили, строились, учились. Все на свете. Дружили, любили.
На родину. Домой. Хотя родина наша здесь, ну, подальше. Ну, в Украину, конечно, да. Запорожье говорили. Отличный вариант.
Did he say anything about the next step?
Стою туда.
А там, где Рома стояла, потолка нет.
So, Alexandra, thanks a lot for your remark, and I will proceed to the next item of news. So, along with that, Russia does not stop its shellings and hitting missiles on peaceful Ukrainian cities. The shellings are intense and with numerous casualties and damage. For instance, Russian missiles hit Kharkiv, Kiev, Odessa, Lviv, and even Zakarpattia Oblast, which is the westernmost part of Ukraine, actually intact from the beginning of war, but a missile hit it as well. Also, there was a missile in Dnipro, and it ruined the railway. And also, it ruined infrastructure in Kirovohrad region. The city of Mykolaiv is experiencing constant shellings and explosions. Only on May 3rd, 5 civilians were killed in Luhansk Oblast by heavy shellings. Well, Russia killed at least 221 children and injured more than 408 in the war. And in this photo, you can see Victoria Glodan. She was holding her 3-month-old daughter, Kira. They lived in Odessa, but a Russian missile killed them. Okay, the next slide, please. And some news from temporarily occupied Crimea, where a civil journalist, Irina Danilovich, was kidnapped. She is a journalist, a medical nurse, and a blogger who writes about the medical collapse of the medical system in Crimea, and also she writes about the war in Ukraine. And 7 days ago, she was detained by Russian FSB and kidnapped on her way from work. And at the same time, an illegal search was held in her house. Now, on the 7th day, neither her family nor her friends and colleagues know where she is. And in total, since 2014, when Russia occupied Crimea, 44 citizens of Ukraine are missing. And more than 120 people are imprisoned due to their political beliefs and being pro-Ukrainian. Most of them are Crimean Tatars, who are indigenous people of Ukraine. So that's it from my side. Thank you for listening.
And then we go to actually topic of our meeting, how the Ukrainians actually fighting in medical front, and Arsen will start with we'll start and tell about one organization which is basically help Ukrainians. It called Doctors Without Borders.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah, perfect. So yes, let me tell you about Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, if we say it in French. It's the origin of this organization, and this is a very valuable organization that really helps not just Ukraine at the moment, but currently its occupation, but also different countries that are affected by some conflicts or endemic diseases. Actually, it's a prominent one because it won the Nobel Prize of 1999. For humanitarian work and assistance to victims of armed conflicts, natural and man-made disasters. Currently, as I said before, it is doing its work in Ukraine and has about 100 international employees and more than 200 Ukrainian employees. Actually, speaking of its recent activities, I should mention that, it helped hospitals in Odessa, which is in the east of Ukraine. It helped to prepare and receive casualties from, different frontline settlements. It also conducted trainings for Ukrainian doctors in Lviv and Vinnytsia, which is in the west and in the center of Ukraine. And also it helped them to prepare hospitals for the possible influx of wounded and different people who really need help and assistance at the moment. In the east of our country, this organization also helped to conduct remote trainings for Ukrainian surgeons, and those surgeons are people who are at the medical front line, and they really help a lot of wounded people at the moment in Ukraine. And also it provided assistance to hospitals in the east, in Kyiv, which is our capital, and other parts of Ukraine. And I should say that Doctors Without Borders is a really symbolic name because we Ukrainians feel this support from all around the world, and there are no borders if we speak about the assistance. So we are really, really grateful for everybody who's supporting us, and especially to this organization. So yeah, please, the next slide. Yes, and a lot of stories and a lot of projects were started by this organization, and one of them is finalizing the first transfer of patients using a medical train in Ukraine. It happened on April 1st, and 9 patients in serious but stable conditions were transferred from a hospital in Zaporizhia, that was mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. It's in the east of Ukraine, actually, those patients were transferred from this place to the southeast of Ukraine, to major hospitals in Lviv, which is in the west, and they really helped a lot of people. Those patients were loaded on this train with 2 medically equipped carriages, and this also was of really great help. Speaking of that, I would like to quote Dr. Joan Liu, who is one of the experienced pediatricians of this organization. And actually, the story, the experience that she has really, shows the situation that's going on here in Ukraine. So, quote, on Tuesday, March 29th, we went to Zaporizhia and met the regional health director. We said we wanted to hear from him if there are any things he needs from us. He said he'd heard a story about a train for medical transfer, and he was very interested. He said he had patients who needed to be transferred. Most of the patients we saw had been wounded in or while trying to escape from Mariupol, again, the place that we mentioned today. One patient had big open fractures, very stable, but a very sick child. Of course, it makes sense to take patients from hospitals that are close to the front line to enable them to have more bed capacity. But we needed to make sure we'd be transferring the patients to somewhere where they will get the same level, if not higher level of care. And we just wanted to make sure this would be safe for everybody. We talked with the patients and asked if they wanted medical evacuation or not. The first mother said, I want my child to be medically transported because I think it's the only chance for my child to keep his legs. And the child looked at us and said, "I want to walk again." But then it was the end of the day and we had to leave to be able to pass checkpoints. So we said we cannot promise anything, but we'll see what's possible. And the hospital director and many of the interns were there, and they were very insistent. You need to get them out of here. They need to survive. This is our hope. The next day we came back, 3 of us, and we screened every single patient. Our key point was to consider for each patient, could this person sustain a 20-hour transfer where we don't have intensive care unit level or care. And then Thursday morning, we came back early to do another check on all patients before doing the referral to make 100% sure they were stable. There was one more patient, a 3-year-old child with very severe abdominal injuries, who we thought would not be stable enough for the transfer. At one stage, the mother said, "My child's going to die during the transfer." I've been practicing the pediatrician for the past 30 years. And what I told everyone is that when a mother tells you, yeah, am I audible now? I'm sorry for cutting off. So yes, yeah, just a couple more sentences about this pediatrician. So she said, I've been a practicing pediatrician for the past 30 years. And what I told everyone is that when a mother tells you that, she's never wrong. Well, if we evaluated this child 3 times together with the directors of the hospital, when we came on Thursday morning, the doctors were about to take the child back into the operating theater. And we all came to the same conclusion. This child was not stable enough for the transfer. The decision took time, but it was a decision we all took together. Actually, end of quote. These stories are really strong. And, when we look at the news, probably in some countries it's cut off. Probably Ukraine is somewhere far away. It's not really interested. People are not really interested, but we need to understand that this war is still going on and a lot of people die. And people who are on the front line, on different front lines, are warriors, are medical workers. They do everything possible to stop this thing and to help everybody to the best of their ability. And also, speaking of this organization, on April 4th, a team of MSF doctors visited Mykolaiv, and that was the first time when doctors actually came under shelling. They wanted to meet with the regional health authorities, and as they entered the city's oncology hospital, they came under fire about 3:30 p.m. local time. Fortunately, the workers were able to hide, and nobody was injured. But we see that even some volunteers and people who help prevent everything, they are under the threat. So yeah, please the next slide. Yes, in the pictures you can see people that I mentioned earlier, patients that were transferred from the areas where they stayed and where they were wounded by some missile strikes. And on the 26th of April, almost a month ago, almost a month after the previous story, the larger medical train was launched. So the train had a special oxygen producing carriage and could generate its own electricity. And this is what really helped medical workers to deal with all the problems that they had. And the first transportation of this huge train took place on April 25th and 26th, and it was delivering 26 patients, even more than twice as big as the previous one. And hopefully, in the nearest future, those trains, those carriages will be bigger, even bigger for all the around Ukraine. Yeah, in conclusion, I should say from my side that being a sustainability candidate of 2022, is really something great, especially in these times, because you can talk to a lot of people, you can see different you can hear different points of view, and this is why we're united for Ukraine. This is why we do everything that we do. So yeah, thank you so much for my part.
And I will continue with shortly, actually, with another organization called Hospitaliere or Hospitaliers. I just sent the link to the website of this organization. You could check it in English. Actually, this organization was established like not in 2022, but in 2014, when actually Russia started the war in the east in Ukraine and annexed Crimea. Yeah, it was founded by Yana Zinkevich, and actually it's completely volunteering organization. They didn't have like any financial. Actually, mostly they don't have any like financial support from government. Mostly it's some kind of people donations and also donations from abroad. Yeah, and here you can see like the motto, for the sake of every life, and it means that they help like not only soldiers but also civilians who suffer from war. Yeah, and actually in Kyiv they have like more than 145 volunteers. And before the Russia's full-scale invasion, they provided some kinds of training like for civilians, like how to provide some medical first aid assistance, якщо я правильно, перша домедична допомога є. Yeah. But now they concentrated mostly helping like in some hotspots. That's why they call they are paramedics. So paramedic is someone who like help in such emergency situation. And you also could like follow this link and learn more about this organization. And there is also like link for donations. So yeah, you could check it. And now I guess we should go to our guest speakers. Oh no, it's one of the most important slides, how we can help Ukraine. Actually, I will tell shortly, just for reminding. I think most of you already saw the slide. Just like making a donation and also support rallies, and of course like shared information what is going in Ukraine. And next slide is actually some Ukrainian media in English, which you could check and also share this information in your social media with your friends and etc. And now I guess we can go to our guest speakers. First three, I want to like emphasize that in a previous video, which we about the evacuation from Azovstal. There was a moment when this woman, if I think it was woman, said that we are going to Zaporizhia, and actually Zaporizhia, it's like the city which helps, like, I guess from my point of view, like the most, because there is like the city is the point where people from Mariupol and other cities got evacuated, like the most close city which like control actually is under Ukrainian control, but it's one of the most close city to actually the front line, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Hannah or Ilya could tell more. So the first speaker is Hannah. Hannah, active member of Ukrainian NGO Spilna Hub, which is based in Zaporizhia, and also we have like Ilya from всі свої, sorry, sorry, свої, and Hannah will speak in English, and Valeria, we will need your help with translation when Ilya will speak. Yeah, so Hannah, floor to you.
Thank you so much, Danka. Thank you for this slide share about me and about Zaporizhia. At this time in Zaporizhia, we have air alarm, and I don't see all air alarms at this time, but in Zaporizhia, it's like this time when we start our meeting. And about my daily routine for today and for yesterday, it's like a good days for me because yesterday from Mariupol we can see, not yesterday but today, it's like for this day we can see our colleagues from the NGO Halabuda from Mariupol with his family and his cat, and this is a great day for me and for our team and for our partners and for the team of Halabuda NGO Ukrainian from Mariupol, and this is so great. I will start with this news because it's so lovely for me. And about NGO Spilna Hub this is like NGO we start our work in 2017, and it's like public organization from Zaporizhia. We can work with the Donetsk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions in the during the war, but at this time we can take our part only in Zaporizhia for this time, and in Zaporizhia region it's like little work, and in the peacetime we was take a part for development of the and advocacy companies for the cycling infrastructure in Zaporizhia and for promotion bicycles in Zaporizhia region, Donetsk region, and Kherson regions, and we can promotion of the democracy process in these regions too. However, the full-scale Russian invitation of Ukraine forces Ukrainians to until and resist aggression. And for this time, we like to say that during the war, you have to do what that you works the best. And in the first weeks of the war of the Ukrainian, Spilna Hub decided to support the critical infrastructure in Zaporizhia, and with this turnout, this have become extremely important for our team and for our city, because you know Zaporizhia at this time, it's not only the city for evacuated people from Zaporizhia and Donetsk region, it's like about 20 kilometers to occupied territory from the Zaporizhia region, and it's like 20 kilometers from the war. And we can share our love to the SU. I don't know, like in English, this maybe our colleagues can help me, but maybe you know, like ЗСУ, like Збройні Сили України, якщо колеги можуть мені допомогти.
Ukrainian Armed Forces.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We can take share to our love for these people. They are lovely in Zaporizhia, and it was really important for us. We give an experience of the team, the making complex packages of goods for different needs. There are one single hour activities in several areas. At this time we support sorry, but it's like the next slide. I will tell about the organization, but I don't remember for my slides. This picture, you can see our big point of it's like about, not about the war, it's like about our work before the war start in our region. Big point, it's like what you see in this picture, and you can see it in the cycling road. It's in English step by step, but step, it's like step path, and it's about the Azov region. It's about 300 kilometers for the bicycle road, and this lovely, and we don't know what about our bike points at this time at this bicycle road, because all our bicycle road is occupied for this time. And the next slide. And this is about the Zaporizhia Blood Center. We support them. It's like about maybe 4 million hryvnias. We take support about the with our donors of ASCD, and we can take to the blood center medical equipment and technical equipment like computers, printers, and other details. And they work with the blood, more goods for the people who share their blood to military or to civilian peoples in Zaporizhia and in region. And the next slide. This is the blood center too. It's they can maybe hope for our organization, because допоможіть мені, будь ласка, тому що це дуже велика закупка для них.
Because it's a huge purchase for them.
Thank you so much. And the next slide. This is like Zaporizhia Military Hospital. From our partners, we can take the рентген апарат. І тут я знову забула.
X-ray.
Yeah. Thank you so. X-ray and other technical details for their work with. They work only with military in Zaporizhia and from the Zaporizhia region war line, and it's important for us. And the next slide. It's our lovely, because we love to work with the patrol police in Zaporizhia region, and in Zaporizhia it's like not only the region, it's like oblast from the other cities, because patrol police, it's our partners for the bicycle activities in our city, and for the bicycles at all. And this is our lovely partners. At this picture you can see the drones. It's about security for Zaporizhia at this time. And the next slide. It's our lovely partners too, because it's the state emergency services in Zaporizhia, and at this time I can like to say that I hope we can support the state emergency service in Zaporizhia, and in bad times they support us, like people in, like civilian people, like military people, and like all people who are take a part, like IDPs people in Zaporizhia at this time, and like evacuated people at this time from the occupied territories in our region and Donetsk region. So it's like our lovely partners too. And the next slide. It's like state emergency service too, and we can do the next slide. Oh, it's lovely situation for us because we don't support the military like at all for technical, because we like organization for civilian people and for the critical infrastructure at this time. But one moment. It's like an alarm close for our territory. It's like good. In this picture, you can see a drone with the thermal image. This drone we can boss for the Azov military Zaporizhia, and it's about we can raise maybe $10,000, and we can take this part with only donate from donors all over Ukraine. It's really cool for us. It's really donate all over Ukraine, maybe not all, not Ukraine, but in hryvnias. And we can take support the Azov Zaporizhia, because they support us, they support all civilians in Zaporizhia, they support Zaporizhia region, and they are the part of Azov, and they are the colleagues from Azov of Mariupol. And we can take the next slide. And how you can help the Spilna Hub for this time. You can follow and support us on the Facebook and on the Instagram. Sorry, at this time we didn't have English subtitles from our news, but I understand it's very important, and maybe in the next times, in the next days, we can take the English subtitles for our news, and you can take a part of us and support us in the social media. And the next slide. And how we can, how we and you can help all over Ukraine. You can support your public organization in your countries, because they support us. I really really appreciate and thanks to the United People Global, because you support us. Thank you so much. I thank you all over of you at this meeting today at evening for Ukraine. It's very important for us. And if you support your organizations, you support us because it's very important for us. And it's like for your love from us in your countries. It's I'm really glad to see you at all for this evening for Ukrainian. Thank you. At the next slide. And the next slide, it's like Ilya, it's my colleague from my city. I thank you so much one more time, United People Global, and for colleagues from Ukraine who can take me to this part of this evening. And I will I will take a part from the questions, but after the Ilya can take this part of this evening. Thank you so much.
I can start.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So I tell about Zaporizhia Humanitarian Aid Center, little bit about story of Create, and tell about our work and functions in Zaporizhia, and how we help people who need it. So Zaporizhia Humanitarian Aid Center was created on the first day of the war by NGO SVI and Zaporizhia Regional Youth Center. Our center following functions. It's providing humanitarian assistance in the form of medicine, hygiene, products of food and clothing, and other aid, delivery of humanitarian goods to frontline settlements and evacuation people. About delivery of humanitarian goods, it's a dangerous operation, and we have one story when our driver come to Mariupol and die near city. It's an awful situation, but we have a good case when our humanitarian, exactly medicine, come to temporarily occupied cities, for example, Enerhodar and Kamyansk. One moment. For the last weeks, the last few weeks, about 20 volunteers from our center have been taking tactical medicine courses, and volunteer can help civilian people in Zaporizhia, help save lives, because Zaporizhia located nearly front lines. It's approximately 80 kilometers, Zaporizhia and Russian troops. And Danka, may we show video?
Yeah, Alexandra,
about...
please.
Thank you. So this video demonstrates how our humanitarian aid center function inside. And in addition to this center, there is currently a shelter from internally displaced person, and we can help 100 person who come from Mariupol, Energodar, and other cities in one moment. Це було зрозуміло з приводу того, що ми...
At the time.
Thank you. And about delivery on temporarily occupied territory, the structure of our center has a logistic department that coordinates the delivery of medicine for people and medical institution that need it in for example, in a temporary occupied territory. The last 2 months, this is more than 35 successful deliveries. That's all. I can answer on question.
Yes, thank you, Ilya. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I'm really appreciate your work because I partly know Ilya, and he worked as a volunteer before the Russia's full-scale invasion, and yeah, it's so cool that you are doing now. Maybe our guests have questions you could address for Ilya or for Hannah or for both of them.